Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Cyberstorm, and here we are again with another episode of LEGO Arts. So in the last episode, we did a showcase on the Batman with the Mark II version of the minifigure. Now this time we are doing another showcase on Batman featuring Batman Arkham Knight. So as you can see, we have Batman in the Arkham Knight suit, as well as a custom figure of the Arkham Knight. I know I said in the past that I was going to do Batman in the Arkham Knight suit for the Batman family, and I still plan to. This is actually version 2 of the minifigure that I did from like one of my first versions of Batman. I decided to put together this figure first, and in version 3 is going to be in a slightly different design. It is going to be having some variations for this one, but I decided that to go ahead and showcase off this one, especially in comparison with doing a review on the Arkham Knight minifigure that I got this a while back, and I felt that hey, let's do just a solo Arkham Knight showcase in general, showcasing in the game. And together with the two side by side, I think it looks pretty cool. So I decided to go ahead and put this together for sort of like a short episode of LEGO Arts, and yeah, just in general, just for a little fun. So, as you guys know the drill, we're going to take these minifigures one at a time, do review them, explain the process, why we went this route, and then go from there. So without further ado, let's get the pedestal out and get the showcase on the road. So to begin, first things off is, of course, Batman in the Arkham Knight suit. Now, I keep calling this Mark II, because one of the first figures that I did in, I believe, the first episode of LEGO Arts was Batman in the Arkham Knight suit. And here to give you like a little refresher, here was like one of the first Batman figures that I had. And for a while, I was pretty satisfied with this figure, but I decided to try again in a different approach. So I reached out to Titan King and requested if he could make the Arkham Knight suit, and he did an amazing job at this. Especially, I think some of my favorite pieces are the torso and the legs. And I'll talk about those in a bit. So from top to bottom, first off with the cowl on this one. It's a pretty cool design. It's sort of a mix between of like what it would kind of look like in the game, as well as being very reminiscent to Lego's official design. Only the ears are a bit different and the bottom piece of the cowl definitely different. It still looks pretty cool. Still passes off as like still the Batman. The head underneath, I used a painted up head of the classic reminiscent Batman head. But you can see underneath, I also included in some black paint, and that was for like the cowl to fully blend in underneath, because like it doesn't fully cover up the head, which is fine. Just went ahead and just painted it up underneath there to try to like fully blend it in all together. The torso underneath, the torso here, this is basically just a regular torso, but on the front of it was 3D printed Arkham Knight armor, which I really love this design. It looks really, really cool. You could kind of see like a bit of paint chipping off here and there, and that was because I was attempting to do sort of like a double layer with this one, sort of like first on just regular black paint, and then added on this gunmetal gray as the base. I love the gunmetal gray design. It definitely could look much cleaner than beforehand. And then the bat symbol on here, I tried to give this in metallic black, to like try to blend it in. Well, one, to blend it in, and also to make it stand out a bit more than from the rest of the suit. It's a good approach, but I'll probably be adjusting it slightly when I attempt this for Mark III. The belt first like base painted on with like, I believe it was black, and then came in with like just this pale gold for his utility belt, and then it continues on to the rest of the waist, on that gold paint job, and then went back in with some light silver and lightly detailed some of the belt pieces. Continuing on the back real quick, we can see like this molded cape, which I think looks pretty cool. I also painted on sort of the, I don't know if they're armor joints, but with the design of the cape, it kind of looks like that, I guess, to like give it a super effect with like launching out of the Batmobile, as well as like extension with the gliding. On the arms for both of them, 3D printed pieces on with the shoulder pads, as well as these gauntlets. I'll definitely be reusing those. Use those for the next one. And then we have some glove tops that I added in for special effects. I honestly wasn't even expecting them to fit into these gauntlet pieces, but thankfully they did, and it looks really pretty. It looks pretty cool. And then now on with the bottom part with these legs. This Yeah, this is what was one of my favorite pieces about this, and these are probably some of the hardest legs that I've had to customize, aside from Cyborg from Justice League. So when I first approaching with this one, I wanted some more articulation with this one, but I didn't want to just like put the pieces on the legs and have it be at that. I wanted it to fully move. So what I attempted to do was, you can kind of see at the side of the legs. What I attempted was basically, I took my Dremel tool, drilled out the front part of the leg, like completely removed it, and then stuck these pieces into the leg, filling it up with glue and clay, and amazingly, it actually works. It really works, because you can see of like articulation all the way over here, except for at the waist part here, but that's totally fine, because you can see of this bottom waist piece covering this piece and blocking it, and as well as like the belt pieces, but it has seamless articulation. I only sanded out the waist piece a bit just in case, especially of like mostly for the paint job. But before that, I tested it out and it fits. It works out pretty good. And of course, I did like some little detailing on the side, not too much, but enough to still give off the idea for the Arkham Knight suit. And this was a pretty cool step up for Mark II, When I approach for Mark III, I'm definitely going to be changing up a little bit to how to paint on legs, like the armor pieces. Maybe give it a little glue in, and don't know if I'll reuse the cape. I might do it, or go in with a fabric one. The cowl will definitely be swapped out for a different one, as I got another one in store. But for now, this is still a pretty cool idea for Batman Arkham Knight suit. And last up is showing up the custom minifigure on the Arkham Knight. This was by Leylebrick that I purchased off of Lab 9 minifigures, and I gotta say, this is one of my favorite custom minifigures that I've purchased, because the whole design of it is so unique and really, really cool. So I remember years ago, I don't think I've ever posted a video of it on my channel, but back in my early days of customization, the Arkham Knight was one of the minifigures that I did, but for so long, when looking back at that figure, I was never satisfied with it, and I wanted to try and redo it, but I never had the time at the time, nor did I define like a good enough images to like fully make a good custom of that figure, and eventually that motivation just died out, and then I saw this fully customized minifigure on the Arkham Knight, and it does, and I will admit, it does stem on whether or not this is Lego, but I honestly don't care, because the design of this is just really, really cool. It's pretty accurate to the character in the game, and just looks really awesome as a custom minifigure. So pretty much with the whole design of it that I like about this is like how three-dimensional the armor is, as well as like how well it articulates. So the helmet piece is not really a helmet at all. It's more of a head. As you can see underneath. It's very reminiscent of like when I did like my first Master Chief minifigures. So this is like a whole head instead of just a removable helmet. But it's still pretty cool. I still love the design of it. I mean, it's still well done. The arms are very like bulky. Whoops, there's one of the pistols. But the arms are very bulky, but thankfully they are articulated really good. This one, I felt printed up much better than the other one. You know what? I don't know if I got a misprint or something. Oh, his whole hand came off. I'll get that in a second. But with this side, with the A symbol, I actually painted it on, because when this figure came in for the packaging, it didn't have the A's visible. It was all just like one solid piece. The guns look pretty cool. These are pretty cool like designs for them, and definitely suits well for the Knight. And Knights, go ahead and remove these to get a better look at the rest of the suit. The torso piece looks pretty cool as well. Like, you could really see the amount of work that they did to like add in all of this tech and tactical gear on it. It's definitely could have been like some more paint work and work of like that camo pattern on the torso or so, but I can kind of see past that because it is a small area, and it would have been extremely tedious of trying to get that on there. Color scheme wise, it still looks really cool. Like, I forgot to mention that the color scheme is pretty nice, especially with this metallic blue, that they did. And the detailing that they did continues on more to the back. We can even see of like various layers, I guess, of like how they did. Like each of the stuff. Like you see all these belts, these armor pieces, the ammo packs. Still looks really, really cool. Of course, on the back here, there are no stud pieces, so you can't position this figure to sit down. But I do like the armor bootings and the armor boots that we get here, especially of how like it's continuous around the torso, around the legs, and we can even see, if we reposition the light for a second, we can even see like some ammo packs continuing on down on the thighs, and the detailing continues even on top of the feet and goes all the way down at the bottom, which looks pretty cool. Another real quick thing about this figure is that it also comes in with these red katanas for both hands here, so we can see of like the printing that they did. It looks pretty cool. Almost like a lightsaber kind of. Not sure why that they gave the Arkham Knights these weapons, because the Knight never wielded a sword in the video game. I don't know if it's based off of like a concept art, or they just wanted to add it on as like a cool detailing. It looks cool. But it feels kind of weird, of almost like he's trying to attempt to be like again like a lightsaber. So a little off character for him, but these are a cool design. I might use them for something else in the future. But overall, this is a solid figure. Again, it does stem on the borderline of whether or not this is considered Lego. It probably wouldn't, but honestly, I don't really care of like what differentiates between Lego as well as like non-Lego. This is still, in my opinion, this is a solid figure, and the amount of work that they put into this is really impressive. So, in my opinion, this is an awesome custom minifigure. And there we go. That is going to do it for this episode of LEGO Arts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, this is going to be version 2 of the Batman Arkham Knight suit. Which I'll probably be using some elements from this one to incorporate on the next version for the suits. I'm super excited, very excited, and it's to see how that's going to turn out. I'm also working on, for Batfamily, it's almost finished. There's one more piece that I need for Batgirl, and then once we're done with that, we'll finally be able to showcase the updated version of the Batfamily. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see the final results for them overall. And then with this Arkham Knight minifigure, as I keep saying, it's a splendid figure and really, really cool. So if you want to purchase your own, I'll include a link to Lab 9 minifigs in the description below. That's where I got mine. And you can also keep up with Leylebrick over on Instagram, which I'll include a link to them in the description below, so you can check them out as well to keep up with updates for all their other cool stuff, that they made, and check it out like with some of the resellers that they have, as they're really, really cool. Now, going in for future stuff, before I get into the showcases, a little reminder, if you have not seen on like Twitter from like Jacksepticeye and whatnot, but the annual Thankmas event is coming up very soon. On December 10th, it's going Thankmas will be kicking off live. I will be participating as well with my own little campaign to help support the cause for Thankmas. We're doing World Hunger, I believe with this one like World Kitchen. I'll include a link to down in the Tiltify for description below, so you can check out and with like some more information if you want to set up your own little campaign to help out or support one of the various campaigns donating for Thankmas. So on Saturday, we're going to be participating on that one. We're going to be doing God of War Ragnarok, going for platinum, and if we have enough time, we're going to be doing also a playthrough of Batman Arkham City. So I'm excited for that. In the future. And for future projects in the future. Stuff going on, I'm still taking my time for God of War Ragnarok. I've recently gotten some parts that I'm going to be using for Jormungandr as sort of a background piece. I'm halfway through the minifigures that I got going on. I finished up Tyr recently. I started working on Angrboda. Then I need to still do Sindri, Brock, Faye, and Odin. Then the figures will be done, and then I'll be working on a background piece for this. It's going to be one of my biggest showcases that I'm most likely going to save for very special events. But in the meantime, Meantime, I'm still keeping up with all the other stuff that I got going on. Next episode will probably be a solo minifigure showcase, as I finally finished up a solo figure I've wanted to work on for quite some time, and I finally got the chance to finish him up. So we'll see in that one in the future. But for now, that is going to be it. And that is going to be it. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time in the next episode. Bye bye.